so OnlyIfI, what inspired you to write this story?
It's a lot of racism in America, but it stems from lack of education. People don't know, so I put the facts together and I used a novel, so they'll read it, but they'll learn at the same time.
Okay. And what will the readers actually gain from reading this story? What was your purpose for writing it?
Well, ignorance stems from lack of education, and racism stems from ignorance. This book aims to educate through a romantic story the power of interracial love and to battle racism.
Nice.
Robert De Niro is married to a black woman named Gracie Hightower. Then there's Cuba Gooding Jr. and Sarah Kafer, Seal and Heidi Klum, Tamara Mori and Adam Housley, and one of the most famous interracial couples of our time, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Did you know that prior to 1967, it was illegal for interracial couples to marry in this country? And the first televised affectionate interracial kiss didn't air until 1968 on an episode of Star Trek? These days, we can date who we want so freely that we forget about the struggles of the past. Racism has dogged our nation since its inception, but it has no merit because throughout history, whites have always stood with blacks. White people helped form the NAACP in 1909. A white abolitionist by the name of John Brown unsuccessfully raided a federal arsenal in Virginia with the intentions of distributing the artillery amongst slaves to launch rebellions against their masters. Consequently, on December 2, 1859, he was hanged for treason against the Commonwealth of Virginia. His actions caused such an uproar throughout the nation that some historians believe he played a major role in the start of the Civil War. Facts like these are not taught in school, causing ignorance, which leads to things like racism. I am Dante Coates, the author of OnlyIfI, A Tale of Interracial Love. This historical romance novel is filled with compelling facts that will educate the reader by challenging the way they think about race. Your support will help this manuscript become a published novel and combat the ignorance of racism. Shopping definitely helped take Amanda's mind off of what happened Sunday morning. She was engaged to the man of her dreams and everyone was happy for them. That is, everyone except the young girls at One Word Pentecostal Center. No doubt it was a black church. There wasn't one white person in the entire congregation. So when Amanda stepped inside with the Walkers in that knock-dead gorgeous Prada two-piece purple and cream suit, the looks gave away what they were thinking. Everyone was friendly during introductions, but when Bishop Wilson stepped to the pulpit and congratulated Kendrick Walker on his engagement, the jaw on every girl in there, 18 to 30, dropped to the ground. The way they looked at Amanda made her blush with embarrassment. That entire service, you could poke the tension in the air with the fork. The guys were all for it. They had no reason to hate on Ken. But the women, there would be a lot of repenting. After church, some people left without even speaking to the Walkers, and that never happened. Usually everyone hugged and hung out in the parking lot for at least a half an hour chit-chatting. As much as Kiera tried to make it seem like everything was alright, Amanda was no fool.
Wow, so it seems like there's already a lot of drama. Well, do the church members end up eventually accepting Amanda and the interracial love that her and Ken have for each other?
I'll tell you like this. It's a lot of drama, but you gotta read the book to find out what happens in the end.
Okay.